You see, when you see the kind of what manufacturers are doing, understand that manufacturers are not thinking about your health and my health. They are thinking about their profit. When they slaughter the cow, they will inject them with certain things so that it will stay on the shelf for a long time so that they can sell it. So even they slaughter it, but they inject them with nitrates and nitrites and all these other preservatives to keep it on the shelf. But do you know that some of these things that they put to preserve it, they are carcinogenic? The other day, the European Union was saying that there was a problem with the farmers, that they spray, for example, apple and some of the fruits. Do you know that when you come from South Africa or Brazil, UK is a small island. Every 24/7 you have fruit and vegetable here. Do you know where it's coming from? Do you know how they keep it? They put it in a big warehouse and spray it with certain gases so they can stay for a long period. And then we go there, we buy it and just watch it water and we think that we are cleansed enough. And you know some of the additives they put in food, MSGs and all this kind of stuff, dangerous chemicals. Scientists have classified them as cytotoxins. They cause the nervous system to overreact. You know, those of you who are medical people, you understand the synapse junction, the junction between the neuron, the head and the tail and the head. They cause a spark, like putting positive and negative charges together. It causes the nerve cells to overreact. So with time, it may predispose somebody to Parkinson's disease or nervous. Sometimes you find that after a certain age, find that your body is shaking like that. All because of the chemicals from preservatives and stuff like that. I can mention a host of them. Mercury, cadmium, from like dental fillings in the mouth. Preservative, nitrates, bromide in bread, hormones, residue, aspartame, especially the sugars. Please. Can I advise you on this? You need to fear sugar more than cholesterol. Sugar is more dangerous than cholesterol. You see, the big pharma is making a lot of money out of it. You know, I mean, there's a lot of things about, and I hate, you know, from what I know, cholesterol is not the enemy. Cholesterol is not a big enemy. We are directing attention to the wrong, whatever. Sugar should be feared more than cholesterol. Maybe if I have time, I'll prove that to you. Then we have the sweetness. Then also we have what we call EDC, the endocrine disrupting chemicals, like things like plastics. Chemical is in plastic. Chemicals found in plastics. Chemicals found in the inner lining of canned foods. All these things. They cause all sorts of endocrine disruptive activities. Now what about the food? Our food, there's a nutritional gap today in our food. There's a big difference between filling your stomach and feeding the cells. They are not the same. Somebody is eating the Ghanaian Bankun fufu or the Zambian Shema. The fact that you are filled the tummy doesn't mean you are fed the cells. Some people are starving themselves for many years. And that's why we are developing diseases. And that has to stop. Okay, and then the other factors they are doing to the food. Genetic engineering today. So, now we come to coming to my topic now. Cardiovascular health. Ladies, we have ladies now. So, ladies and gentlemen, we must appreciate that the true source of cardiovascular problem stems from the blood vessels. Now, the blood vessels being said that when you connect three people's blood vessels together end to end, do you know it will travel to the moon? Wow! Can we give God a hand? Incredible God. And three people, their blood vessel end to end, it will go far. Extensive. Dr. Deanfield, professor, top cardiologist in this country, said we must invest in our arteries. There's a book he published, I have the article recently. We need to invest in our arteries. Because do you know what? People as young as 10-year-olds are developing deposits in your arteries at that age. Some people think that it's only when you are age that you need to, parents, let us advise our children early. Because see, it takes a long time before people develop cardiovascular incident. None of these major killer diseases just happens instantaneous. You never wake up developing diabetes. No, it doesn't just happen. You never just wake up having heart attack. You never wake up developing most of these major issues. It goes through a pathological process for a long time then if care is not taken, then it evolves as a disease. So we need to help them, in particular cardiovascular. We need to help people to pick it early and stop it before it stops us. Hallelujah. So we want to work on. So one area that is very common amongst us is high blood pressure. Because when we fail to pay attention to the blood vessels, then the arteries become quite stiff and it generates a different level of tension in the arteries. And when it continues at that, it becomes a big risk to other issues. And for information, please don't forget that high blood pressure now is linked to cognitive decline. Ooh. When you allow blood pressure to come in, you are killing your brain slowly. Why? Because you are not allowing enough circulation to the brain. So somebody with high blood pressure has a high propensity for cognitive decline. So we need to watch the dynamics. And also for us as men or women, we must appreciate that we age with our arteries. Or we age with our blood vessel or blood pressure. As we are aging, the blood pressure is also increasing. It's a normal trend in our physiology. Hallelujah. And because with this information, that is why I want to propose or suggest to us that every year, the day that God will add another year to your years, tell yourself that I want to make one extra investment in my health. Would that be a smart thing to do? Yes, I agree with you. Every year that you are celebrating your birthday, tell yourself that I also want to make an additional investment in my health. Every year, additional investment. Every year, additional investment. If you apply that principle, you age gracefully. You age without issues with you. It is very wonderful to you to advance in age without any blood pressure and all these chronic diseases. To serve God in health. Oh, that's beautiful. It's better to say, praise the Lord in good health than praise the Lord with stroke. Oh, it's better. Oh, it's better, my people. And also, another issue we need to look at is heart attack. You know, there was a study done between 1987 and 2004. And they realized that when they checked all the racial divide, you know, black people, black men, not black men, I mean black people, you know, black men, white men, black women, and white women. They realized that for us, people of color, we have got a higher propensity for heart attack than our counterparts. Part of the reason, I assume, that has to do with our culture. Because we eat a lot, so we love to cook a lot. We kill our nutrients. We eat more dead food than living food. Everything. But our food are tasty, you know. But it kills us. So we need to watch it. For example, the black people, our graph is the first one. The black one. So we have a higher propensity for heart attack. So we need to watch it. This is just information so that we will be on our guard. Hallelujah. So that we don't become before prey to that kind of reality. Okay. So if care is not taken, we may develop issues like this in the arteries, where inside we begin to build a plaque there, and that can get ruptured, and then that can block an artery there. If it happens within the heart chamber, it can become a heart attack. If it happens in the brain, it can be a stroke. So these are common things that happen. There's a whole study I can do on this because of the time, for you to understand how it happens. If you are eating the wrong stuff, we can create a lot of inflammation activity and build the initial cyst, which has got a weak covering. Then with time, it will get ruptured, and then the blood, it will be a clot, and it will stop the blood flow to the other side, and then the heart muscle will die. So we call it infarction or heart attack. And it can happen also in the brain, where there will be a rupture in the brain, blood vessel in the brain, and then the brain cell also will go. So we need to understand these are realities there. What are the factors that contribute to some of these things? The part of it is inflammation because of abdominal obesity. Many years ago, when you put on weight as a man, you are classified as a rich man in my country. So we have to understand that when we build here, we release a lot of inflammatory markers in the blood, and that can actually put us at risk. And men, we need to watch. I'll come to another one. How many of you want to have sexual stamina? Yeah, hallelujah. So that you'll be able to maintain your God-given responsibility. So if you have that, that will not help. So we need to watch that too. One of the things that we need to pay attention to, one of the key factors that contribute to cardiovascular health is insulin. And insulin is coming from processed carbohydrates. Please fear carbohydrates or sugar more than cholesterol. Because once you allow more processed carbohydrates to hit your system, you cause insulin spike. And insulin spike will lead to something called insulin resistance and metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is a cluster of other issues where the blood pressure will go up, cholesterol level will be abnormal, and then the liver become fatty, and blood pressure is terrible. If you put yourself up, so the whole thing is coming from processed carbohydrates. The white rice, the white yam, the white this, and the white that, the white pasta, and the white. Dangerous. Dangerous. We need to really, Africans. I'm a typical Ghanaian, but do you know I've changed my typical Ghanaian whatever by virtue of my understanding. I don't eat my normal banku. I'm not saying I don't eat it, but in moderation. And flavor the bit of, and it has helped me. Because many years ago I was even struggling myself as a health professional. I was on statins and blah 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 blah. But by the grace of God, I am for many years now no medication. Isn't that wonderful? Amen. Shall we give God praise for my life? And then also another issue that affects our cardiovascular health is stress. Please, between cholesterol, sugar, and stress, cholesterol come at the bottom. Almost in the impact cholesterol has on cardiovascular health is small. But most medical communities are helping us to see that cholesterol is a big story. When you have cholesterol, you're going to die. It's not true. It's not true. The issue here, stress, is I can spend 30 minutes to explain the dynamics and what trigger in your system when you are stressful. No wonder God being smart. You know how many times God said, fret not, don't worry. Yeah. Ooh, the Father is a physician, so he knows exactly what works in our bodies. Please, God's word is amazing. Amen. Don't worry, it's a health principle. Amen. It's not because of emotion. Don't worry, will go a long way to protect you against heart attack. Because once you worry, the body doesn't differentiate between money worry or whatever worry or every worry is worry. And it will trigger all sort of neuro, whatever system in your, it changes something called HPA axis. Hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal gland. It will change the body by chemistry. And it's dangerous. I won't have the time to go through to show you. But it's dangerous. Stress is a killer. According to a study they did, when you are angry, you increase your risk of myocardial infarction, MI, that's heart attack, by 230%. Wow. Anger. Woo! So we need to watch that. I can't go into all that kind of stuff. And men, before I finish, we also need to maintain proper prostate health. There are a couple of factors that may affect our prostate, because the prostate gland is a very important gland to protect our sexual health, sexual stamina, and there are things that can actually cause problems. Nervous disorder, drug reaction. So that's why please pray that you don't go to the GP. They are pumping or bombarding you for sort of medication, because all this also has some ripple effects. Injury to your prostate, problem, even stress. The last one is also part of it. So please, let's watch that. This is the prostate gland. You can see that the yellow one there. Sometimes it can get enlarged and can get inflamed, and also because of other factors also. So we need to watch that. And okay, this is an example of some drugs can influence your sexual health as a man. Contraceptives, antihistamines for allergies, painkillers, and they all antidepressants, panic and anxiety drug, blood pressure medication, cholesterol. All these things has effect on your sexual drive because they interfere with the body's biochemistry and cause. I can't go into because of time, but I want us to understand these realities. So we need to pay attention to our health so that we are not bombarded with all this kind of stuff. The key issue to overcome this challenge is to adopt a healthy lifestyle. The Bible said in Genesis 1:20, God gave us a prescription as to how to handle the body, how to feed the body with, what to feed the body with, according to Genesis 1:29. good mood, regular exercise, and all this kind of very, very important. Living food is better than dead food. Living food is food that has not been subjected to heat, microwave, temperature, cooking, refrigeration. You know, like vegetables, fruits, they are very, very good because they contain rich source of natural antioxidants and stuff that the body can really use to protect itself. If we cook the food too much, then we are destroying it. So please let us balance between living food and dead food. It's not everything should be cook. So for men, we also need to watch things that can help. Regular exercise is important. Your immune system must be strengthened. In fact, when you have pot belly, it reduces your immune system. It goes against your immune system. Yeah. So be careful about that. Let's hydrate yourself properly, and then other stuff, you know. So and not too much sitting too. Men, let's not be sitting. If your work is always sitting, sit and stand up because it will slow down circulation to the pelvic area and can naturally gradually affect your prostate power. So please. And sugar, man, don't go near sugar because there's a whole lot of sugar will reduce your testosterone level and all that kind of stuff and blah blah blah. So finally, there are technology you could use to maintain your health. I'm done now because of time. Yeah. There are a couple of things that I wanted to show you, but because I don't have the time. Yeah, there are a couple of things that we use, and we have certain products that we have during our health screening. Then we also have this technology. I want to mention it briefly. I have it at home. It's a machine that you could use to process all your food at home. You put your fruit, vegetable in it, and you extract all the chemicals out of it. It uses a natural ozone oxygen to remove the toxins from the food, the meat, the fish, and the vegetables, to make it so that it will reduce the impact of toxins in your system, you know, and all that kind of stuff. Then we have the hydrogen water, which was determined by the Japanese scientists. And this is my personal what I use. It puts more hydrogen in the water, and hydrogen is the smallest gas in the world, and it's known to be one of the most powerful antioxidants. It has been designed that you put the water in it, and it processes in 10 minutes. Then you can drink it to hydrate your body. You see, when you drink hydrogenated water, it goes into the cells, into the mitochondria to protect it against mitochondrial dysfunction, which actually can affect the organ functionality. So these are a couple of stuff that we have. So there's a lot of information I can give you when you come to me for. So finally, okay. So you got a message now. No excuse. So after hearing this message, you have no excuse for not being healthy. So my final word to you is, health is not only your right, it's also your responsibility. Thank you very much. I will be
Thank you so much. How many feel like doctors now after hearing a medical talk? How many feel like giving up on the food that we can live? Man shall not by food alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. Thank you so much, Doc, for the information is with us. Please, let's give him a big hand as well. Once more. Thank you so much for the information. Information is power. What you don't know,